HELP is one of 8 projects selected by 2021 ICOM International Solidarity Project as aimed to guide the museum through a self-assessment process and to support them in the realization of digital projects for heritage education based on open licenses. The project is organized by 4 main phases. The third phase was the research phases, 3 online lessons, grant and consultancy. Today, we are going to present the result of the grant we launched in July. The grant consists in a consultancy by a help selected expert on the fields education, technical aspect, legal aspect, and sustainability agenda 2030. We had 21 applications, and we selected the committee of the selection committee is consisting all the help members, help project members. We using a precise evaluation criteria. Here there are the criteria: presence of educational staff, presence of ongoing project. So the very important is the presence of still a project in museum, educational project. How the project could fill on help aims. If museums are using open data or they are interested in. Presence of help topics as accessibility, sustainability, digital divide, and etc. Innovative approach. So in our selection, we consider all these evaluation criteria that the evaluation criteria we put in the call form. So we asked to participant, to applicant to fill the form, and in this form we have already this evaluation criteria. And today we are going to announce that the winners. And I don't want to discuss more. So if you have later any question regarding the evaluation criteria, or you want to go deeply regarding the criteria we apply to select the museum, today we are going to present also the winner, and the winner itself present the project that be selected. So we started with the announcement with the ICOM committees, national committee presidents. We started with ICOM Italy with Adele Maresca Compagna, the ICOM Italy president, and then Maria de Jesus Monge, ICOM Portugal president. And after Gina Renotier, ICOM Czech Republic president, and then the museum selected will present the project that they submitted for the application. And after that, Sara Dominique Orlandi will present the help mock plan with the online lessons we provided regarding help aims. And Michela Rota of the working group of sustainability presents some reflection also about the project coming from the working group of sustainability. And after that, we have some time to a conclusion and some question and answer. And now I'm going to give the floor to Adele Maresca Compagna, ICOM president, who will present the ICOM Italy selected museums.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. We are here today at the new important step of our health project. Before the announcement of Italian winners, let me express my deepest satisfaction and my thanks for the works that they've done until now, with the great competence and passion from our colleague, and we have already produced many interesting and important results. For me, the knowledge is just a value, the knowledge of the advancement of the open licenses and free reuse of the image in the countries, and the possibility of compare and transfer the initiative and the methodology of the participate and remote digital education. Furthermore, the preparation of the MOOCs, this training lessons on legal technical education aspect that may be useful not only for the museums involved in the health project, but also by from a wider audience of museum professionals. Now we are reaching the core, the central goal, the ECOMS guide and support for some exemplary innovative projects on education and accessibility, inclusion, based on open licenses. This is also an objective important, carried out in a small but very vital museums. The Italian museums selected according to the criteria just illustrated from Anna Maria Marras are two institutes, two museums of South Italy that ECOM Italy had already the opportunity to appreciate for the innovative power impressed by their directors and the strong relationship that they have created with other partners and local communities. The two projects are winner are the Museo Digitale, the Museum School and Legality of the Museo Digitale Consensi Itinere di Cosenza in Calabria. A very interesting project that involved the problems of legality and heritage and participatory approach. For us, it's very interesting, innovative, because this project aims to build in young people and all citizens an awareness of the risks that cultural heritage runs and the responsibilities of each one in preventing and fight them. The second project is Marionette, Puppets, Diversity, Bambini and Didattica. Badi, c'est le nom fantaisie qui is according with the imagination of the director. This project is very well presented, and it reflects the principle of helps. In fact, it combine expression of local culture with tradition and practices of other countries of the world and of contemporaneity. It's in line with the a well-identified trend of European level, and with the most recent reflection on identities, on the value of cultural diversity and the equal access to the culture. So we hope that this project can have a success, and also that they can indicate to the other museum some lines, some way to lead, da seguire. Thank you very much, and I give to my colleague, Maria de Jesus Monge, ICOM Portugal President, voice. Grazie molto. I'm sorry for my English, very bad.
Thank you, Adele, for giving me the floor, and good afternoon, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here and to present the two Portuguese winners. But before that, I do have to congratulate all the team that has been working on this project. This project has so much to do what we have all recently been living, and it enhances good practice in so many of our institutions. And we had only 4 proposals, not because the project was not very interesting, but because of the very tight schedule. This has been huge work. All of you have been undertaking from the beginning of the year. So much has been accomplished, and I have been very fortunate to follow all the various steps of research, the book, the video preparation, now this grant, and what will follow, the expert advice. So this project represents immense work from all of you, so congratulations, and the results are already there. And saying that, I am very happy to say that of those 4 proposals, we have chosen 2 that, of course, were chosen according to the rules, to the information that Ana Maria so well told us a moment ago. They're both from the north of Portugal, and they represent small museums with quite different characteristics. One is a private foundation, the other is a municipality museum. It just helps us show the diversity of our museological institutions, though we are not that many, because we are a small country compared to Italy, of course, but we do have very interesting and very different realities. And this is also shown by the very diverse projects that we have elected. I am going to just say 2 words about each one, because I'm sure my colleagues from Vila Nova de Gaia and Viseu will be the best spokespersons for themselves. So we have from Vila Nova de Gaia, Fundação Manuel Leão, the Museu Casa das Imagens, which is Museum House of Images, and of course their ongoing educational project has to do with images, and their public for it is use on a very actual, very how would I say, very adequate for the times we are living. And I'm sure this Narcissus Online project will be an inspiration to many others who will be able to follow their work online. But the project from Viseu, from Polo Arqueológico de Viseu, so it's more dealing with archaeology, and the Polo Arqueológico António Almeida Henriques, that belongs to the municipality, also is targeted to young people through their project Heritage at School. And I'm sure Lilia will talk about it and will give us an insight of what it means. My welcoming words should not go any further. I'm looking forward to listening to you all, to Inês, to Lilia, and all the colleagues from Czech Republic, from Italy, and all those who share our interest in this subject. Thank you very much. And Gina, the floor is yours.
Gina, the microphone.
Voilà.
Yeah.
Bonjour, chers participants au webinaire sur le projet HELP. Je voudrais vous saluer cordialement au nom du comité tchèque de l'ICOM. Nous apprécions beaucoup votre intérêt pour l'éducation muséale et nous sommes heureux que nous soyons tous réunis ici aujourd'hui. Permettez-moi de remercier sincèrement toutes les institutions. Voilà, Yuri, tu veux traduire, n'est-ce pas?
Yeah. Dear organizers and participants of the HELP project and of this webinar, I appreciate the floor for my speech. I would like to greet you sincerely on behalf of the ICOM Czech Republic. We very much appreciate your interest in museum education and we are pleased to have met in here.
Permettez-moi de remercier sincèrement toutes les institutions qui ont envoyé leur candidature au projet et qui travaillent et développent systématiquement leurs activités dans le domaine de l'éducation muséale et de l'utilisation des méthodes modernes.
Please allow me to truthfully thank to all institutions that has submitted their application form and who have consistently and systematically been working on the development of their activities in terms of museum education and usage of modern methods.
Je crois que la capacité d'évaluer et s'adapter constamment au monde extérieur est un attribut clé du succès dans tout domaine. Par conséquent, nous aimerons apprécier ces musées et institutions qui peuvent répondre aux impulsions du présent et de l'histoire.
I'm secure of the fact that the ability to pursue development and to adapt to surrounding environment is a key to success in any field. Therefore, we would like to really appreciate those museums and institutions that are able to respond to the flow of present days while reflecting on the times of the past.
La Commission internationale d'évaluation a un rôle très difficile et j'ai le plaisir de vous informer maintenant des projets et des institutions de la République tchèque qui ont été sélectionnés pour attribution d'un soutien de conseil dans le cadre de la troisième phase de HELP.
It was not an easy task at all for the International Evaluation Committee to choose the grant-winning projects in this third phase of the HELP project, and it is my pleasure to announce those successful applicants from the Czech Republic.
Alors, le musée municipal de Blatna a impressionné par son approche, son engagement et sa détermination à créer des projets qui se chevauchent dans des conditions modestes. Leur museum and network doivent devenir une sorte de bibliothèque virtuelle de la culture régionale, fonctionnant sur une base de données ouverte, librement accessible aux résidents locaux, aux enseignants, aux étudiants, ainsi qu'aux visiteurs potentiels de la région de Blatna.
Municipal Museum Blatna has captured the attention through their attitude and commitment to create inspiring projects despite the limited budget. Project is called the Museum in the Network and is supposed to become a digital library of regional culture functioning based on the open data that is freely available to locals, teachers, students, as well as to potential tourists and visitors.
Et le deuxième projet, sélectionné et créé par la Galerie régionale de Liberec, c'est une institution s'est bâtie dans le passé d'une grande notoriété dans les milieux culturels et son open date est exemplaire dans la région.
The second project selected has been brought up in the Liberec Regional Gallery. This institution had built a high renommee in cultural circles and their work with open data is inspiring for the whole region.
Leur projet éducatif à venir est directement lié à l'exposition en cours Images de ressentiment, manifestations visuelles de anti-judaïsme et d'antisémitisme. C'est une partie sombre mais intégrale d'histoire tchèque. Et donc, le projet éducatif sur ce projet est une initiative que j'aimerais apprécier pour l'ensemble de l'ICOM.
Their educational project is directly linked to an exhibition called The Pictures of Hatred, Visual Interpretations of Anti-Judaism and Anti-Semitism in Czech Lands. It regards dark but integral part of Czech history and the history of Bohemian lands. Therefore, the educational program on this topic is an initiative that I would honestly like to appreciate on behalf of the whole ICOM Czech Republic. In the upcoming block of this webinar, you will get to hear more from the authors themselves.
Tout à fait. Les auteurs eux-mêmes vous diront le plus sur les projets. Et merci pour votre attention. Je suis honorée que l'ICOM Tchèque puisse faire partie de ce projet exceptionnel. Et maintenant, je leur donne la parole. Un mot. Parole.
Now I would like to pass the word further. Thank you very much for your attention, and it is my honor and pleasure that ICOM Czech Republic gets to participate on this wonderful project.
Merci, Gilles. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Gina. Thank you, Maria and Adele, for the presentation of the museum selected. And now I'm going to give the floor to the winners of the HELP call. So we started with the Italian project, and the first we want to we present as Museo Internazionale delle Marionette Antonio Pasqualino. And the project will be presented by Elisa Bonaccini. Elisa, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you all to be here. I'm very glad to present my my presentation here. The museum, the puppet museum Antonio Pasqualino in Palermo, is a project thanks to the Association for the Conservation of the Folk Tradition, and since its foundation in 1975 has constantly pertained to participatory contemporary museography. We can say that is a temple not only of knowledge for a few people, but a place for spread culture and knowledge. And the museum combines and organizes live theatrical shows. It displays great collections, and it could be considered one of the most successful examples of museum research on theater. You remember the pillars, the topics of the HELP project: education, technical aspects, legal aspects, and sustainability. We participated with the Muddy Buddy project, which is an inclusive and intercultural practice to spread tradition, innovation, creativity, and knowledge. And the name comes from four main elements in Italian: marionette, diversità, bambini, and didattica; puppets, diversity, children, and education. We can say for the very beginning that the core of the museum is about the Sicilian tradition of puppets, which was declared UNESCO intangible heritage site, the Opera dei Pupi, this kind of heritage is important for its intercultural and interdisciplinary perspective. We can say also that the respect for the other through creativity and knowledge is the very important core of the museum. In fact, the museum had a great collection not only of theatrical objects coming from the Sicilian puppets. It houses the most complete collection of Sicilian puppets, but also some kind of other UNESCO masterpieces, such as the Japanese one, the Indonesian, the Cambodian, the Nigerian, the Korean, the Turkish Karagods, and the Sri Lanka ones, all puppet traditions coming from the world. Our pillars are three: environment, economy, and inclusion. And we can say that all the activities made in the museum are about traditional activities, inclusive activities, digital activities, and digital communication. So, for example, the museum organizes as traditional activities guided tours to the collections, workshops on the puppets construction, workshops on the traditional performative codes, workshops on puppets and recycling, internships and higher education courses. For activities, for inclusive activities, we make guided tours and theatrical workshops for people with disabilities, or release projects, products, and shows. For digital activities, web app digital restoration, virtual guided tours, webinars, streaming of live shows, ER experiences, VR experiences. For example, the digital communication is about the websites of the museum and of the Opera dei Pupi in general. We have a digital archive of intangible heritage. We use social media. We made participatory edu guides and podcasts, for example. This is a show, a little a brief showing about our activities: inclusive guided tours in Leeds, or this web app digital restoration made in 1992. We digital restored it this year. Immersive virtual tours of the museum with its theaters. Also, the AR experiences, the Corinda puppet in augmented reality, the VR experiences with 360 degrees immersive puppet show. A digital animation of the puppet show's cartoon is one of the digital activities we made. This is the digital ethnographic archive, which all the sheets about the ethnographic culture in Sicily. For digital communication, this is an example of participatory edu guide made with the voices of 120 storytellers for puppets. We arrived to how can help us. We are sure that we need to better share our digital collections. So we need your trainee, the training courses about how to improve the visibility of the museum's digital collections, how to increase the possibilities of sharing and reusing digital content published by others related to intangible heritage, and how to acquire skills in the field of open data and sharing our digital collection, which is made about photos, videos, audio recordings, books, and so on. So thanks, Hicom from the Opera dei Pupi world, and I leave the screen to the second museum. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. So
going to stop. Okay.
Okay. I give the floor to Anna Ciparrone, the director of museum in Multimedia Museum of Cosenza Itinera. Anna.
Thank you. I'm here. Do you see the presentation?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Okay. I'm honored to receive this grant. Thank you. And I'm going to present our museum, the Multimedia Museum Cosenza Itinera, and the educational project for this important grant. So Villa Rendano is located, is an historical and prestigious architecture in Cosenza, where was born the musician Alfonso Rendano, inventor of the third pedal of the piano. And here at the second floor is located the Multimedia Museum Cosenza Itinera, the historical museum of the city, an immersive path with storytelling that explain the history of the city, just the beginning until the contemporary age. The museum allows the visitor to enter as a protagonist in the main important events, into the happening of the past, into the history of the cultural heritage, with different technological solutions. The project, the educational project for high school that we presented was born in 2019 at School of Legacy, and it is in collaboration with the command, TPC command of Carabinieri of Cosenza. And during the 2020 lockdown, the project was improved and became a real opportunity to maintain and reinforce the relationship between the Museum Cosenza Itinera and the schools in order to ensure involvement, positive behaviors in a difficult moment, and an equitable education in agreement with the Agenda 2030 goals. The new edition, the 2021-22 edition of the project, would like to spread this question among the young students. What can I do to generate change? And how can I take care of the cultural heritage and environment? So the project is in blended learning, and it has three parts: online lessons with 8 meetings for each school about diversified topic, and visits, 2 or more visits to discover the museums of the city of Cosenza, and at the end, students could choose one of these project works to realize scientific research or graphic art, to realize a podcast, to realize a video, or also to realize an artistic performance in a forsaken place of the historical center of Cosenza. Cultural heritage, we know, is constantly at risk of dispersion and disappearance for natural reasons, for destruction, but also one of the most critical risk is oblivion, and we know that museums and TPC command share an important aim: fight against the destruction of cultural heritage and educate the younger generation online, in presence, or in blended learning. Like our project. Thanks to ICOM Italia president, was launched the new call, no? And I tell you about this call for all museums in Italia to explore and share the best practice in the museums, between museums and the command TPC. And for our project, which future we hope. Aim of this educational project is to create a digital environment to make the formative path that we have proposed at the schools open: videos, investigative materials, presentation of the collections, focus about specific topics faced on, and to allow the students from all around the nation to improve their knowledge about the special role of the TPC Command and also themselves in the care and protection of the cultural heritage. In this digital platform, students will be able to upload their project works and create also a community to discuss about this topic. In this way, museums could express their social role and give an important contribute to construct the active citizenship of the future, including schools of internal areas, ensuring accessibility and to promote skills for a sustainable development, care and protection of cultural heritage, and also to make cities long-lasting and safe. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna, for your presentation. Now we are moving to Portugal. I can see still your screen, Anna. Okay. So I give the floor to Polo Archeologico de Viseu Antonio Almeida Enriquez. Apologize for my pronounce, so I hope it was not so bad. So please. Okay, we can see the screen.
Okay. Is it okay?
Yeah, Lilia is okay. Lilia Basilio. Okay.
Yes. Now, thank you very much for this opportunity and for the grant. And we are very excited with this new grant. I'm here to introduce you to the project Património na Escola, which we can translate as Heritage at School, developed by Polo Arqueológico de Viseu. Polo, okay. Okay. Polo Arqueológico de Viseu is the operational center of the municipality of Viseu for archaeology. It brings together our local resources dedicated to this area and promotes interest in the archaeological heritage as an object of investigation and an element of learning and of cultural enjoyment. So we are a larger service that also has a museum and works with schools and in showing our archaeological heritage. Património na Escola is an heritage education project designed by Polo Arqueológico de Viseu and the City History of the Museum, specifically for the school community of the municipality of Viseu. The project builds on our understanding of heritage as a potential vehicle for teaching, learning, questioning, imagining, and building a more diverse past, a more empathetic present, and participative citizens. It aims to create effective access to content and resources in the area of history and archaeology, and ensure that municipal services responsible for those areas are resources for schools. The project is based on the development of original content and resources used in different activities organized in an annual program offered to the local schools. Activities are designed for teachers and students from primary to high school level. Each year, schools and teachers select the activities in which they wish to participate. Additionally, schools can ask the museum team to participate in their own projects or develop new projects together, involving archaeological heritage and historical heritage. All activities are free and take place at schools, in our museums, and in the city and online. These activities include training courses for educators regarding local historical and archaeological heritage, and also the science and practice of archaeology and the use of heritage as a learning resource. These are now running online. We also have thematic resources and activity toolkits for educators, which is something that we started last year because of the COVID-19 pandemic. These are aimed to promote the discovery of local historical and archaeological heritage using digital resources in the classroom. Also, thematic guided tours to museum exhibitions and the city. Archaeology activities at the school, including simulated excavations, reassembly and investigation of archaeological objects. And games and creative activities carried out by the museum team in the classroom, relating school topics with local historical and archaeological heritage. Very briefly, we are currently experimenting with free, lib, and open source software to develop digital user-friendly experiences that promote active participation and engagement with local archaeological heritage. And this is where we are going to use our consultancy grant from the HELP project to help us develop these resources and amplify our offer in digital resources within this project. Of course, all the created resources and including the sources codes will be available online under permissive and free licenses, which is something that we've been doing with other all the digital content in our other projects. And I said I would be very brief, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lila. Just very perfect your presentation and very timing. Thank you. So I'm going to give the floor to just to stop your presentation. I will try, so I will do it. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So now we are moving to Czech Republic. Yes, Czech Republic. So, no, we already has Ines. Sorry. Ines Azevedo, Museo de Casa de Imagens. Please.
Hello.
Sorry.
No, don't worry. Don't worry. So, hello everyone. I am Inês from Museu Casa das Imagens in Portugal. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you very much for having this grant. I think it's very important for us in our institution. So I will start by presenting the project, but just to let you know who we are. So Casa da Imagem is an artistic and educational center where media and visual literacy can be learned and explored by the community. And we belong to a foundation that is Fundação Manuel Leão. Inside this artistic and educational center, we have been developing a museum project, every time ongoing and always moving and trying new things and approaches to our users and visitors. And when the project that I'm going to present has to do with a situation that we observed in our practice, and by speaking with the teachers and students that related to the uses of internet and social media. We understood that there is a problem, and there is still a problem related to children and adolescents' apparent lack of critical awareness and judgment about the images they consume and the images they produce and or share on social media. So by understanding this, we also understood that there is a dilemma here. And this dilemma has to do that the more you use the internet, the more risks you find, but the more you use, the better skills and the better use you also develop. you develop not only being a consumer, but also a producer. And we strongly believe that the media can be seen as an expression of freedom, autonomy, and youth identity, where they deepen and maintain their networks of intimate relations. And we also believe it's fundamental to understand how different spaces and different practices influence and are influenced by literacies. That is why we created this project called Narciso Online, the portraits on social media. We created because we believe it could be a possible answer, not the only, but just one possible answer, the one that we found. So it's a school project. We believe that our innovation lies in the way that we empower people by working through visual literacy in the digital media. So we understand that our objects and impacts are firstly located in the school community. We aim to guide the production and the creation of self-referential portraits with strong personal and social meaning, to promote awareness of children and adolescents' choices so that they understand that they always have a choice, and they can develop critical capacity and produce images and understand them. And also to contact and manipulation with museum objects, and to impulse the experimentation of artistic techniques and methodologies. Within our local community, we aim to develop capacity buildings for the risks of images and increase civic participation, also civic participation online, and to transform the use of virtual space or contribute to it. And for ourselves, for our entity, because we use our material, the museum material, and we use it in the workshops and we share it with young people and adolescents and educators. We hope to, by this value of use, to enhance also the heritage and to make it available for people around us. So what we have some examples. We have been trying this project. What do young people and children, they tell us and they give us feedback by saying that they have, through our project, they have learned more about security issues. They have learned more about technology and photo editing, about creative and authorship issues, and about questions of interpretation. I strongly believe that this ECOM grant will be really important for us. It will help us to reach other audiences by giving us tools to analyze our project in a more sustainable way. I think the technical support will also be very important. How can we enhance our practice and use open source in a more interesting way for young people? And well, that's the presentation of the project. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ines. So very interesting presentation. So now we are moving to Czech Republic. Exactly. So I'd like to give the floor to Municipal Museum of Bladna, Peter Klebek. I hope my pronounce again is not so bad. So Peter, please.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is very hard. It's Petr Chlebec. It's like Peter Broad, and it's all, but it doesn't matter. It's possible to see all. Yeah. Okay. Municipal Museum in Blatna. It's a really small museum in one building. It's a library, museum, culture organization, and it's everything in one place. But it has really rich heritage, and we start building in 2016 the new exhibition inside the museum. It was Museum of All Senses, because you can not only see the artifacts, but you can touch it, not original but copy, and so on. And Museum in the Network, it is no isolated project. It's a building on the basis of this exhibition, and it's the part of the strategy of presentation of the regional history and culture, which we built on the on basis of the exhibition Museum of All Senses. Oh, yeah, that's before this project, Museum of the Museum in the Network. We make the other public exhibitions on the streets or in the train or in another public space, which were free for all who can go out. And during the lockdown, we continue with this exhibition for the people. But it wasn't online. Online project started with pandemia. The first was about the architecture of town Blatna. It was it was made in a platform of YouTube, like a video with speaking about the history of the streets. Then we use same for history of end of Second World War. The other project, online project, we use our web application, where it's possible to see our exhibition Museum of All Senses in 3 languages. But exactly, it wasn't online project. It was audio guide, and it's a web application. Everybody can see it. We have, before the pandemic, we have no experience of this. But during the pandemic, we made streaming with streaming conference and so on and so on. But how I said, the basis of museum in the network is our exhibition Museum of All Senses. We start thinking about the exhibition Museum of All Senses in 2019, before pandemia, before opening this exhibition. And we think that this exhibition has limitations like the others exhibition. Its museum is not opened all the time. For example, every Monday it's closed, or you can go there at midnight. Yeah. When visitors want to see this exhibition, they have to travel somewhere to town Blatna, to the one building, and inside the exhibition is not presented all artifacts in museum, but only part. And it's not so good material for study, for researchers or for teacher. It's for visitors who want to see something, who want to feel something, and view the history a different part. What we can do? We think that it's necessary to make new project, which aim is attractive museums for non-visitors, for the people who normally don't go to the museum because they like play some games, sit at home, and be before the computer. This thinking was before pandemic, before the normally people today don't like, I think that they don't like the computer. For this project Museum in the Network, we want to present a large number of artifacts. Municipal Museum in Blatna has about 23,000 artifacts. We want great library of regional heritage and connected artifacts with region, with culture, with history, and create new instrument for study, because we think that the researcher don't know which artifacts are in a museum, because we have no instruments for this, that you can find everything what it's inside. And we want to create museum as an open space. How I said, basis is exhibition inside the building. You can see it on the left side, the photo, and on the right side, our museum in the network. We make same place because we want to connect this to a place between the normal museum and building and virtual museum. We use same principle, activate the visitors, not overwhelm. You must find the information inside the drawers, and then you can open it. Then you find some information like this card, where it's possible to see one artifact and the others with which is connected. Then we create three-dimensional models. Well, not models, we have only one because we have not so a lot of money for more, but we want to make it more. And it's created from 42 photos, and it's like original. You can study it from this three-dimensional model. Or we made inside the drawers virtual space. For example, this is Celtic village. But it's not all. When you want to make something virtual, we think that it's necessary to make same game elements like in normal game. You must find the key and continue to the other room. But it's not finished. How I said, we have not so lot of money, and but we want to make very open space. This you can see it was only in Czech language, and we want to make texts in different languages, audio where it's possible to read the text for everyone. It's more comfortable. With GIF inside the video of reconstruction or some of game element like Easter egg. It's some secret place. Normally in games you can find it, and make a museum like interactive game and library of regional heritage. That's for the people who play game and for researcher too. What we have problems? How I said, we have a very small museum with 3 workers, and I'm now one of external worker, but we have no experience. This, what you see, was we made it like from Museum of the World. It's British Museum, or in Barcelona we find the museum where it was possible to move for free. We have a problem with the communication in network, what the gamer want, and we have no experience about technical aspects in cyberspace. This program has 350 megabytes, and it's really big, and it's done about 1 minute. Nobody want wait 1 minute. And how I said, we have not so a lot of money, but we use grants from our state. But we have vision and enthusiasm for work. We think that it has sense, and we hope that we find some new inspiration. Thank you for your attention. It's our team.
Thank you so much, Peter. Thank you. So now I'm going to give the floor to Petra Shvakova. Is it correct?
Never mind, Shkachova. It's horrible.
I'm going to share my screen, okay, Petra, and you can tell me, go on with the slide.
Yes, understand. I can see nothing.
Okay.
Sempre niente.
Did you see my screen? I see the screen.
I didn't see Peter. Jsem taky neviděla, Petře, tvoji prezentaci. I don't know which problem is on my PC. I'm not able to explain.
I'm going to ask Iri, could you see my screen or?
Only
yes,
present. I see second presentation from which kind of museum was it? It was only one screening I was see, but next one, no.
Okay.
Nobody else. Yeah.
Let's
So
do
we can do it. I can telling about, and when I tell you next slide, we can try without my vision, if you understand me. So you can start it, but I will speaking and tell you next, so it will see everybody except me. Let's make it try.
Can you see my screen? Iri or the other Sarah, can you see my screen? Or
yes,
yeah.
Yes. We can see it. Yeah.
So you can see it, but I know, so I explain everything about this presentation. So can I start it?
Yeah, this is the first slide.
Perfect.
Okay.
So greeting from Czech Republic. My name is Petra Škachová, and I've been working as a culture educator at the Liberec Regional Gallery for 16 years. So you can try. Next slide.
Yep. Okay.
Let me introduce our regional gallery. Can I repeat it?
It's okay. Yes. Yeah, I'm in the second slide.
There is a picture of.
Yeah, there is the slide is called introduction. Yep.
Yes, introduction. So we are the 5th largest gallery in the Czech Republic. The gallery manages collection of more than 21,000 works of art from the Czech Republic, Germany, Austria, France, Netherlands, and the other European countries. And it's rightly referred to as a museum of European art. I will briefly introduce you to the open data we implemented during the pandemic, and then I will introduce you to the concept for the images of Malice exhibition. So next one.
Okay.
So
open
you
data.
can see all open. Yes, you can see all open data is available on the gallery's website. Here you will find collection and exhibition, virtual exhibition, video journal, online publication, etc. And for the education center, we offer an open cycle, Art on My Couch, which is designed for family with the children, teachers, and other visitors. It's like a guide inspired and motivated to process of creating from the things we have at home. It's primary and funny. For example, duvet, fork in the bed, dishes on the table after breakfast. So you can try everything what you have at home. So this is a open cycle. And now the next one, 4th slide.
Concept. Yeah.
Perfect. The concept of methodology was created in collaboration with the curators Eva Janáčová and Jakub Hauser. This is the authors of the project Image of Malice, and with the juridical specialist Dr. Martina Jankovská and gallery educator and author of the program, me, Petra. So you can go to the next.
Yep. Methodology concept.
Yes, our methodology concept, it's like a structure. It has 2 parts. One is a workshop for teachers with a legal framework, and an education program for school is the second. So digital methodology will be available online for download in the format PDF. It will be on the website on the our website. It's also next workshop for teacher on the exhibition images of malice. You can touch the next concept and composition of the workshop. Yes, perfect. You can see concept and composition of the workshop for teachers. There is a described on the details on the chart. So I didn't explain everything what you can see, but it's a very so much information. So we can make to the next slide. You can see yes, you can see a part with the legal framework, with the juridic, horrible word, juridical specialist lecture containing the legal order and basic principles. There is the most important questions about legal framework of the exhibition, which we applies to important section 3055 and 3056 paragraph of the criminal code in relation to anti-Judaism and anti-Semitism. So we can go to the next part.
Okay.
There is a specific guide with the curator on the exhibition, notice on interesting facts and topics that are not part of the school curriculum. So we try to offer the most common manifestation and how they manifested in the field of visuality from the Middle Ages to the present. So there is illustrating photography. Then to the next, educational part.
Okay.
Educational program for a school represent visual depiction and manifestation of anti-Judaism and anti-Semitism in the Czech lands. Will point out to the possibilities of overlaps in teaching in the form of project learning. This special chapter you will see. So to the next, educational program for the school, to the exhibition images of malice. Next slide. We started with the composition.
Yes.
There is a composition of educational program with the details harmonogram like in workshop. So there is a especially animation with the transform to the nose. We explained everything about the typical and characteristical part of human faces. So we are looking for in the exhibition, and everybody can compare our nose with the Judaism. Every people has own nose. There's no differences. So it's for exam. To the next, concept and description of educational program for the school.
Okay.
So there is a description of educational program for the schools and for teachers. It will beginning with the discussion and illustrative animation of personification. Pupils and the educator focus on the danger and pitfalls of prejudices and stereotypes in society through keying animation on a prepared model. It's like a stereotyping map you will see in the next slide.
Okay.
And here you are. You can see a graphically created map of stereotypes and prejudices in the company we work with. It's very hard to explain everything about stereotypes because there's so many levels which we are talking about the races, about the social, about so many the others. And we have to be careful because there is a maybe stereotype threat So it's like a danger between information on the web, on the social group. It's a very difficult theme in this program. So finally, concept and consultation of the education program. There is everybody who are participate on this concept. And I mean, that's all.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, on the end. Thank you for your attention. And thank you, ICOM and HELP, and for your opportunity with the grant. So, buona giornata, have a nice day, grazie per l'attenzione.
Thank you, Petra, for your presentation. So now I give the floor to Sara Orlandi. Sara.
Thank you, Anna. So thanks to all the winner and to all museums that participate to the grants, because you all demonstrate the exceptional effort that museums are making in online accessibility and in the transmission of content to the widest audience. And thanks to this new frontier of sharing the content in open access. So we gave you a small consultancy budget, but a great symbolic support on your effort. And we want to give a practical support even to the huge community of museum and culture. That's why we recorded 14 lessons until now, and we share it on the YouTube channel with a CC by SA licensee. So we'll just share my screen to show you the structure of the lesson that you can find in the YouTube ICOM Italy channel. And the structure is very simple. So we work on the 4 topic of the HELP project. So we did lesson on education, of course, as colleagues speak before, on technical aspects that are quite important in this kind of special field of open data and online content, on legal aspect and on sustainability. So you can find a very short introduction from me and Anna, and then we get into the content. So we have 5 lessons from our colleague on education on the web, starting from some preview of all what you can find online today and what is a useful trick to understand the online and open data question, then the relevant and methodology. So 5 lessons dedicated to these 5 topics. And our experts are from 6 different countries, so a very large expert that we can do with this project. So we're very happy of because they're all very good and very interesting lesson. Then we have some technical data, very strictly in open data and open platform, and the OER questions, so open education resources and application, and a preview of other platforms using open data and open licenses, and a specific on Czech experience. Then we have 3 lessons dedicated to legal aspects that are very important to understand the copyright question, even for our usual activity online for museum, library, and archive. And then specific lesson dedicated to Creative Commons and open data on database. So very, very clear and very easy, even for non-specialists. And then the first 2 lessons on sustainability, because the old project, our HELP project, have a strict connection with the VUGI working group committee. So we started with these 2 first lessons, and then we think we will record the last one, the 15th lesson, in the next week. And we want to give a first definition of social sustainability and give you information about how much sustainability can be developed even on social aspect of inclusion. So now, because I want to be very short, and I want to give the floor to Michela Rota of the VUGI working group, because this was a very, very strong and relevant collaboration of the HELP project. So I'm very happy to give you the floor and to present your reflection on the sustainability question. Thank you, Michela.
Thank you, Sarah, and good afternoon to everybody. I want to thank you, everyone here, because I've heard really interesting presentations, and also I want to thank you, ICOM, to support this important project. And again, thank you to Anna Maria and Sarah for the great job you are doing coordinating this group of committed people. And it's my pleasure, it's my privilege today to talk as a representative and a member of the working group on sustainability. And I send you the greetings of our chairman, Maureen Rees, who have followed all the meetings and the steps of the project, and also to the other members of the working group. And the working group have members from many countries of the world, and in the last year we have moved from, as a group, from a role of advisory to the executive board to a more activist role, participating in some projects. And the project HELP is one that we appreciate a lot because of the many outcomes and also the way is trying to link digital and sustainability. And the choice to include sustainability as a topic in the HELP project reflects also a growing demand for action within the global museum community as a whole. And achieving a sustainable future is the most important challenge the global society faces today and for our common future. So I recall here that sustainability refers to 4 pillars: economy, social, ecology, and culture. And culture and museums should be sustainable for themselves and also act as a vector of messages. In 2015, we know that 193 member states of the UN adopted the Agenda 2030 and the 17 goals. And it's a global call to action to developing a safe and fair space to live with dignity and equity, and to protect also the planet, taking urgent action on climate change and improve the lives and prosperity of everyone in a balance between all the living system. And Agenda 2030's call, leave no one behind, is the ethical imperative of our time. And museum practitioners should feel the urgency of this call. ICOM recognized that the crisis that we are facing as society nowadays, and is aimed to focus on aligning itself and the actions of its members with attaining the 17 goals. And this commitment finds also an expression with the ICOM's resolution #1 on sustainability from Kyoto 2019, aligning ICOM's core activities with both the Agenda 2030 and the Paris Agreement, acknowledging and reducing the environmental impact of the activities of museums and helping secure a sustainable future for all inhabitants. And ICOM has also recently become a member of the global coalition United for Biodiversity and pledges to engage its network in the common effort to overcome the climate crisis. The effort of our working group on sustainability from 2018 is dedicated also to help ICOM and members consider how to mainstream sustainable development goals and the Paris Agreement, and to support its members to contribute constructively in upholding the SDGs. And between the different activities that we are carrying out as working group, we are improving, we are starting to improve the key resolution #1 that I mentioned before, and also addressing the General Conference in Prague, how to contribute to the creation of new narratives within museums for a shift of priorities towards sustainability. And with its global network, for sure, ICOM is ideally placed to facilitate the telling. For example, we know the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, with its final report on climate change, includes adaptation and mitigation strategies, and is to be published in September 2022. And maybe this might be one of the suitable places to begin developing such a new narrative. in which museums around the world would be transformed into arenas for public participation, debates, exhibitions, and events arranged in-house and in cooperation with local communities. A vision of museums as catalysts for change, enhancing public awareness and inspiring public action and contributing to the goals of attaining this sustainable future. There is a general consensus that museums have a significant role to play and in assisting society in attaining the goals and with activities and programs. And many museums are already doing a great job in contributing to different goals, even if sometimes they are not aware or developing already programs aligned with Agenda 2030. And this is particularly true for the social goals, for example, where museums are involved in projects of education, participation, and inclusion. Also, we have heard this project embedded in the digital one that we have heard before. And in connection with the health project, we have highlighted different SDGs that can be and are already addressed. The main one is related to SDGs 4 about quality education, to overcome also the educational poverty and to improve education for sustainable development through different approaches and tools. And digital is for sure an important one that museums can undertake, developing different activities indoor, outdoor, also on-site and online, and in general in the so-called on-life sphere. And digital opens up opportunities, but creates also new barriers. There's a general concern related to well-being raised in the last period about digital and technology. For example, I like to highlight the abolition of barriers with smart working between private and working life and increasing percentage of people suffering on professional burnout. And it could have benefit to encourage people to support the positive aspects while also of digital, also addressing the negative ones. Using also a rights-based approach, we can understand whose rights are affected by digital positively and negatively, and which rights in particular, for example, are related to information, participation in cultural life, rights to education and development. And we know that digital programs should be created so that they are accessible to all the people, including the physically impaired, for hearing, sight. And for example, the Federal Museum in the US are required to make all public programs website fully accessible, which requires additional technical techniques and resources. And this accessibility is important for both the museum staff and also people with disabilities as well the public. And it would be worth also considering the management of digital in terms of preservation and long and short term, and also for the digital footprint. It's a big, also a big topic, this aspect of digital footprint, not already well understood. And before closing, it's my pleasure to congratulate with all the winners of the health competition, and in particular with the two Italian museums, because Museo Cotesense Itinera and the Museum Internazionale delle Marionette are also participating in another Italian research project called Musei Integrati. And it's really a sign that when a museum starts a path towards sustainability, it involves all the activities, using all the tools at disposal to increase the impact. And the ethical foundation of leaving no one behind advocates that museums have a duty to the public and the communities, especially the younger generation, to ensure museums manifest a significant collective impact, promoting respect for all living beings and the Earth system. So thank you very much. Sara and Maria, to you.
Thank you, Michela. Thank you so much for your interesting presentation. And thanks also to the whole working group, because Maureen, because your participation is very important for the HELP project. Thanks. I don't know. We have 5 more minutes. If you there is some questions or from the audience. I don't know. You can write the question on the chat if you want. Okay, I think there are no question. Okay, I think we can. If there are no questions, I think we can close the webinar. So again, thanks so much to all of you for the participation. Thanks to the partner for the Kiri, Maria Jose, Filipa, Mario, Martina, and Sarah, the others. So Sarah and I, okay. So I don't know if I forgot someone. So it's very pleasure for work with you. So we are very happy to this project. So with we invited you to all the participants to follow us by our social and maybe our next meeting for the final presentation, and have a nice evening. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Thank you. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you very much.
Thank you.